Good afternoon. My name is Lynn Bernstein, and I am a voter in North Carolina. My background is in aerospace integration and test engineering, and I've been studying and researching voting methods and election security for the last 3 years. After extensive research, study, and consultation with cybersecurity experts and election experts, it is clear that the use of hand-marked paper ballots combined with risk-limiting audits are the most secure and accurate way to conduct elections. It is important to note that throughout this research, it was found that cybersecurity and elections experts are in near unanimous agreement on the use of hand-marked paper ballots and risk-limiting audits. Consequently, ballot marking devices should be limited to only those who are unable to mark their ballot by hand. I am asking that prior to certification, this board notify the voters as to what research they have done and what cybersecurity and elections experts they have consulted to reach a conclusion that is counter to nearly all experts in this field. I say nearly all because in the 3 years of research in this field, I could not find a single independent expert who disagreed with these recommendations. Hand-marked paper ballots differ from ballot summary cards produced by a ballot marking device, and that they are not only verifiable, but verified by the voter. When a voter hand marks their ballot, verification is required and unavoidable as part of the process, and therefore stands as the best record of voter intent. Ballot marking devices rely on the voter to separately and optionally verify their vote on a system which by its very nature is non-transparent and unverifiable due to the barcodes. The Express Vote and Express Vote XL have too many serious issues to name in this setting. One of the easiest issues to demonstrate is ES&S's use of thermal paper. And it has been documented to fade in a matter of months and can be easily erased with rubbing alcohol or by simply handling the ballot. And I am happy to let you guys play with this as soon as, whenever it's convenient for you. It does not meet the required 22 months of preservation required by federal law. I was given this at the public vendor demo here in Raleigh last year. I spoke with the vendors of each of the vendors. I asked the ES&S vendor directly if this was thermal paper and was told definitively no, and that it wouldn't fade. This was an outright lie. ES&S has been in the news for many years regarding their practice of not being forthcoming with elections officials regarding their products. I would encourage you to read Kim Zetter's article. She's a cybersecurity expert. Her article is titled, "Top Voting Machine Vendor Admits It Installed Remote Access Software on Systems Sold to States. Remote access software and modems on election equipment is the worst decision for security short of leaving ballot boxes on a Moscow street corner." Starting in 2017, DHS has deemed election systems as critical infrastructure, yet ES&S has continued to claim proprietary status, allowing them to operate in a cloak of transparency. This begs the question, why is this board trusting ES&S's word that these machines are secure and accurate? Would any member of this board purchase a vehicle from a car dealer who has admitted lying to customers, but only after being caught in a series of lies? What if the same dealer refused to allow an independent third party to check under the hood? Would you buy from them? Would you recommend it to your friends? There are too many unresolved issues with this vendor and their equipment. Further research and transparency by this board will give confidence to voters in North Carolina that when they go to the polls, that their vote will be counted as cast. If you cannot say with certainty that you have done your due diligence and can assure the voters that ES&S has been forthcoming with what they are trying to sell to North Carolina, then certification of these machines should not be approved until such time when the board can do so. Thank you.
Question.
Yes, sir.
In my experience, a number of years ago with this board, we had more problems with hand ballots than we had with any other ballots. There was more lying, cheating, and stealing going on. chain ballots and other things. And also questions about whether or not, as you talked about, the voter makes a decision. There were lots of questions about whether the oval was filled in, whether both ovals were filled in. So there are problems with hand ballots too. And I'm not trying to argue with you about.
I understand, sir. I think some of those, the statistic about stray markings on the ballots, I believe the research showed that 0.007% of ballots have stray marks. That's very, very few.
Well, all I know is we saw a number of them when we had to hand count ballots and try to figure out who won elections and things. But anyway, I don't want to argue with you. It's just there are problems with all systems, I think, is what I'm.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And I'm really only asking that this board let the public know how you came about your decision and what experts you talked to, because they all pretty much, I haven't found any that don't recommend hand-marked paper ballots. So I'm gonna go ahead and I will give you my only copy here of this. I'm sure you can reach out to the ES&S vendors if you want additional copies. I'm not sure if you're having another vendor demo here, but so you can play with parts of this. I've been holding on to this for a year to show the board, so I'll go ahead and hand this to you.
Thank you. We appreciate your interest in the elections.